Be live. Hey, and now we're live.
Whenever you're ready, Google.
It took longer than usual. I'm just happy it actually did it. You never know with Hangouts these days whether something's going to go wonky or not.
I hope none of you upgraded to Windows 10.
I haven't yet.
Oh, damn.
I never early adopt Windows ever.
No, just wait.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for a while. There's
the new version of Windows is faulty, crashy, and glitchy in general? Who would have thunk it?
Could be worse.
Early adopt.
You could have a Mac.
Yeah, it's true.
You mean a stable platform?
Stable platform, you're paying hundreds of dollars more than you should have for the brand name alone.
Way more than you should for equivalent hardware.
That doesn't crash, that doesn't glitch, that... Yeah, that's equivalent.
It's not the hardware.
Tell all those people that upgrade to OS that fucks up, that doesn't crash.
OS Chinchilla? What the hell are they on now?
Yeah, I don't know. OS, I have all your money. Anyway, moving on from the horrible, pitiful Apple Defender. Let's see, who wants to recap what happened last time?
Not going to be me.
Who wants to recap before I have to pick somebody? You guys know how this works now.
I'm claiming balls.
I am the only person here who cannot recap.
Balls.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that.
Unless your balls were torn off, that doesn't preclude you from recapping.
Your balls don't have a mouth. They're not the one talking. Well, if they are, I mean, hey.
I can recap my week.
Fairly gifted.
No.
I'll give a shot. I'll give a shot at it. It's we had the Love Boat, and then let's see, we wrapped up that fight. I think that's pretty much where we were at. So the enemy was whooping the hell out of our target, and then somewhere on the other ship they felt it. We weren't expressly winning at that point, anyway.
You know, you were pretty much winning at that point.
Yeah, but a lot of, I don't know, was all of us on the deck? No, all of us weren't even on the deck yet. Anyway, not here nor there. Somebody on the other ship got a wild hair and I think pulled a water world and just crashed their ship like into our ship. And we managed to secure one of their skiffs last minute for the most terrifying free fall, lengthy free fall ever.
It's the slowest crash in
slowest
history.
Crash ever.
It was like 45 minutes of screaming.
Yeah.
Like 45 minutes. We got bored. By the time we were done, we were like,
It's like a roller coaster when you get stuck on the top. When it breaks and you're all the way at the top. It's kind of scary for a little while, and after that, you just get kind of bored.
Yeah, unless you were one of those inverted bastards, when you're hanging with dangling in a harness, that thing would no, thank you.
Hear that?
Anywho, so we slowly crash to the ground, and then we make our way. We went back to the crash site because we could see the flames and smoke, and we went back to see if there was anybody alive, and actually a little bit of the crew and the captain actually managed to survive. Looked like they had themselves secured another skiff. And we went ahead and collected whatever we could of the alchemical silver weapons in case we needed them. And then decided that we were going to push on to... I can't see it because we got...
Sterngate.
Yeah, Sterngate. We got a token on it. We're gonna push over to We went over to Sterngate. We put together a base cover story and approached the guards, and then ultimately that led us to having to speak to the commander on watch. So we had to speak to that guy, and but he hadn't shown up yet. At that particular point, we looked rather rough. I think I'm totally out of recoveries, and I think just about everybody's under 50% on their recoveries.
Yeah, you guys look pretty
Yeah, so we look pretty ragged.
Yeah, to say the least.
So they had called in medics, and we decided to kind of hang it up right there because we didn't want to get too in depth onto the story and where we were gonna go with our run-in with the watch commander, and that's kind of where we hung our hat.
Yeah.
What is?
I don't.
Wait, have a bong? What the hell is that?
Where's a bong?
Let's just please be a bong and not a sex toy.
I have no idea. He's got something.
Oh.
Is this like a sword gun? A gun sword? He's getting all Final Fantasy nerd.
I don't know. It's all kind of knobbly, so I'm leaning towards the sex toy.
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yes.
You guys have seen this before.
Oh, it's a legit. Oh, it's a legit sword.
I've actually
actually
seen
a
that.
sword.
I've actually seen that live and in person.
That's hilarious.
It's in the car. What did you name it? Did you name it? Did you go the Drizzt route and name it something like Twinkle?
No. All kinds of no. It hasn't been named yet.
I'm gonna call it Twinkle now. Then
now I want to call it Twinkle. Ow.
Nice.
you lost your chance, Lloyd. Now it is now and forever Twinkle.
Yeah, good luck
The
with
other one,
that.
icing death.
We've
Yeah.
got an incremental as well, right?
Yes, you guys got an incremental.
All right.
So, after a few minutes waiting around in this office, it wasn't an office that you guys went to. It was like a meeting room, like a war planning room, I think. After a few minutes sitting around in this, a couple of people with bags come in, look at you kind of. They look at you a bit suspiciously, and put their bags on the table and start opening it up and pulling out bandages, scissors, bottles of unidentified things, and start treating your wounds. They're not really talking. They kind of, the most they kind of do is give you a nod to acknowledge that you're there. But other than that, they seem rather reserved. Don't seem like they're interested in speaking all that much. At least not opening any conversation with you guys. So at this point, you guys can have your full rest.
Hooray! At this point, we get a full rest.
Yes. While you're being worked on, they bring in some. They bring in some food and water. It's pretty basic stuff. It's not much more than kind of a field ration, but it could be worse. It's filling. The water is cold. It's refreshing. No alcohol. Even were you to ask for alcohol, they would be. This is a fortress, so they're not likely to have that. Certainly not this time of morning. It's barely sunrise at this point.
So
I know
We've-
we're a lack of focus.
we're gonna have to figure out where our boy's at now.
Yeah, that's where you're kind of at. You do know that they survived the crash, or at least you have evidence that they survived the
Oh,
crash.
that's correct. That would have been something to bring to the recap. I apologize. We had talked to the captain, and the captain had said that she saw that they had survived the crash, and they used what she believed to be phantom steeds to make haste.
Where's the captain now?
Back of the
Still the ship.
crash.
Yeah, she's done for. Well,
Yeah,
she's
you-
not done for. We're just done with her.
Yeah, you guys helped out a little bit. If I remember right, you guys did some you guys helped out at the crash site, helped some people out. The crew made sure that
I made sure that.
yeah, make sure the guy that was hitting on Gemma Beth was okay,
Yeah.
and his wingman, because he needs that.
Yeah, we saved people and collected silver.
So
Yes.
Gemma made sure that most people got off, and I made sure that the captain got off. Got it.
Yes. Oh, hey, you got on with the captain. Did you
That was before the crash.
The captain has some funds.
I was here when I started that happened.
Okay, just making sure.
Like a mouse.
But yeah, it looked like of the 10 or 12 crew members on the ship, including the captain, a majority got off, about 3/4, as best as you were able to tell. And you guys helped out a little bit at the crash site. You did collect, I can't remember, I think you got like one decently intact sword of the silver, and then you got some others that were kind of...
One decent dagger, one decent sword, and
then you collected some of the
some 3 to 5 decent arrowheads, and like 2 that were in not so great shape, like one swing wonder kind of deals.
Yeah, or they were mangled and not in very good shape and not even worth that much. But you guys collected them because I think Cord was going to try to do something with them.
Yeah, I've got 2 swords and a damaged flail. Like, both of them are just not usable, but I'm going to try to make some silver knuckles.
Yeah. All right, so you've got your full heal up. The medics bandage you up, and after a little while, this kind of silent treatment, they start asking, like, what did you get into that you got these kind of wounds? This looks like you've been in a pretty rough fight.
Well, unfortunately, our airship was attacked by pirates, or what we assume to be pirates. Keeping up with the same story we've had the whole time.
Pirates? Airship pirates? How could that?
Well,
even the crooks can have airships nowadays? That's pretty unbelievable.
I'm not sure if it was even theirs, because by the end of it, they just decided to smash into us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, that's pretty ballsy. I mean,
have you guys heard of them stealing an airship or something? Because it seemed like they didn't know what they were doing with it.
No, we don't have an airship dock here, so we don't see a lot in the way of or hear a lot in the way of airship news. I mean, we're close to Zilargo, but we're on the lightning rail, so that's what most people are talking about when they're here.
So, on the lightning rail, how far does that lightning rail get up to?
You mean like how fast or how far?
Oh, how far, sorry.
Well, it goes pretty far. I mean, we're one of the bigger stopovers from Kornberg, and it heads up north. Hold on. That's so weird as hell. Sorry, Roll20 weirded out on me for a moment. And it heads up to, we're really the last big stop before Starlisker. And then from there, you can pretty much go everywhere. I mean, Vatheron up into Thrain, though I don't know why you'd go into Thrain. God, what a horrible country. They used to be, from there you could head into Sire, but you know how that goes. That used to be the whole hub, but not anymore.
Yeah.
But from here, it's usually up north to Starlisker or down south into Zilargo.
All right.
I mean, the northbound train comes every 3 or 4 days. Southbound train, same. They're kind of on opposing schedule.
So northbound, how long it has till the next one goes?
Northbound train, let's see, I think it gets in tonight and leaves tomorrow morning.
Oh, cool. All right, thank you.
So yeah, I think it's due like 4 or 5 tonight, and then they give it like 12 hours to restock all their food and water and clean the place out and do all that sort of thing, and then they reboard in the morning. They don't. They've done. From here, they'll do an overnight to Starless Fair, but when they can, they'll stay overnight into town. Like here, we've got a, like I said, we're on a pretty big route with Darkoon right there.
Eyeballing everyone else, I'm like, this is, at least thinking it to Zhuan Di, this is pretty pertinent information. I feel, at least.
It's being noted in the annuals.
I'm sorry, was that Brandy?
It's being noted in the annuals.
Okay. So yeah, it would make sense to you to keep an eye on all forms of transportation out of here, to keep an eye out for Lucan. And the lightning rail would be it's probably the second fastest way to get anywhere besides the airship, or I guess teleportation. But that's really uncommon.
It's probably going to be the one way that Lucan would go. Now, just like,
how long does do his horses last?
The horses last as long as 12 hours, but no more than that.
And will not travel anywhere near as fast as the lightning rail.
No, not anywhere close.
They'd come.
Not for that. They do have the benefit, like their Phantom Steeds have the benefit of not having to stop and rest, but there's still nothing anywhere as fast or sustained to travel as an airship or a lightning rail, or even elemental coach for that matter.
We don't exactly know where he was going either. I mean, we never got a final destination.
No, you never got the final destination. You knew his next destination, but that was in the context of where is the airship going next.
yeah, so we just knew that he was going north, and the quickest next north place would be Starlasker, so it's just, yeah, and I'm just assuming at this point he's going to want to take the quickest way to get out of here, which would be the lightning rail. So I think we need to keep an eye on that, but do we have an obligation to, like, the commander, the Lord Commander, or anything here? Or do we just already get through that? Or is...
You don't really necessarily have an obligation to the Lord Commander. But as King's Dark Lanterns, you have the authority to do what you want when you want to do it. That being said, he can kind of make your life miserable, especially since you've already been brought into his office or an office to talk with him.
Okay. But
while we're in a relatively large town, do we want to send a note back to headquarters on an update?
That would be advisable.
yeah.
That wouldn't be too difficult to do.
Yeah, let them know the fairy has a really bad jam addiction, and, well, just gosh darn it, trying to do something about it.
I know you said jam. I heard gem, and I'm now thinking about 80s glam rock.
Bree might have an addiction to that too. It would make sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I can see the Pixie having an addiction to glam rock.
She did perform at the party. Just saying.
Yes.
That's right.
So yeah, it's I think it's House Sidis. You'd be able to find a place where you could send a message back to Sharn, and I'm sure you would have already had a default send any messages to this place with this address addressed to this person, and we'll check it out. That would make sense from my perspective that you would have already had that set up.
Yeah, that would be something in place that we would have since the beginning of our training, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So after a little while, the medics finish up what they're doing. They kind of nod at you. They've gotten a little friendlier since they started talking with you, but you can tell that they're still keeping their distance, whether it's because they're ordered to or because it's just kind of the natural thing for them to do. You're not really sure. It could be either way. But either way, they leave. You guys eat for a little while, drink, take a breath, and after a little while, a dwarf comes in a Breland army uniform. Without a word, he goes over, sits down, looks damn tired, and starts and pours himself a mug of water, drinks, looking at you over the top of the rim, then sets the mug down and goes, "All right, let's hear your story."
We look at our local scribe.
Do we know who this person is?
You can assume that he's the commander. It would be beyond that. You're not sure.
Well, we get to tell our tale just as we've been telling each of the guards that we've spoken to going along. It was an airship attack. We were just traveling. We ended up crashing and made our way up to this town to try to recoup and recover.
Correct.
All right. I'll tell you, that's not a story we hear very often here. When I got passed along to me, I was pretty sure something fishy was up.
Fishy?
Airship pirates? That's...
Hey, hold on. We may want to like just do a real short retcon here. I don't believe our story was pirates at the gate. I believe it was
No,
Emerald
it
Claw,
wasn't.
wasn't it?
We said we were going to tell them it was the Emerald Claw.
Oh, Emerald Claw then.
Oh, okay. Alright, so it's...
Just a
So
quick
Emerald...
retcon.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Because now that you mentioned, I remember that as well.
Yeah.
So, Emerald Claw. It's been a while since I've heard that name. I heard Karnath had disbanded the entire order, and yet you're here telling me that they got a hold of an airship and attacked you guys.
Kind of peculiar thing about trying to ban an order of a bunch of religious zealots doesn't historically work really well.
And you know, on a side note, guys, it would not really be getting too out of hand if we told him, you know, that he wasn't attacking us. He was attacking the airship, and he was attacking one person in particular who we can give it just a description. We don't have to give any names.
I think that's a good idea, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, get this guy to detain him.
Alright, so what exactly are you saying?
Well, I think that when he says when he states that you know this order just up and attacks you guys, and I'd be like, well, to be fair, we were passengers on an airship that was attacked, and they looked like they were going after one particular individual and a woman, and then I give descriptions of the two, and that's where all their focus was before they, for some god's awful reason, decided to ram their ship into ours.
Alright, I'll accept that they might have been there after somebody else. It's still pretty weird, I think you'll have to admit, but alright. Any idea why they were after these two? I mean, you had to have talked to them a little bit. I mean, you were on this airship with them for what, like 2, 3, 4 days.
That was the funny thing. They kept to themselves. Like, they didn't talk to anybody.
We only ever saw the male after dinner, and the woman had all her meals in her room. She'd get her meal, we'd see her in the galley, and then she would immediately go back to her quarters. So we didn't really have very many opportunities to interact with them. We knew they were there, but they looked like they wanted to keep to themselves, and far be it for us to try and pursue them. Nice. Barb, guys. Look at that barb. Did you see it? You see what I did there? Ow, my balls.
Oh, my balls.
I don't know. There are a lot of weird things happening. I'll admit that this could happen, as unusual as it is. So, alright. So where do you plan on going from here? You're on this airship going to where?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Valtheron, I believe. Right, guys?
Yes.
Where?
Vatherond.
Vatheron, looking for Vatheron.
It's up to the northeast.
It's a city.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, it's
okay.
No country
Right on
near that.
farmland.
Right. It's near the border of the Moorlands and Thrain.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I don't know. There's just something I don't trust about you guys, but not sure I have any reason to detain you right now either. So.
Well, we have no intention of causing a ruckus or anything within your fair city. Please don't be worried of that.
The funny thing is people like you don't tend to intend anything. Trouble just seems to follow them around.
I was going to say, I project out to the rest of the party. Yeah, we don't intend to, but in the last, week, we've started a major fight at a party, crashed an airship, and gotten an innkeeper's throat ripped out by a vampire.
We didn't do that.
Yeah, he did that his own damn self.
Exactly. Don't blame that, Arfie.
Well, we're not exactly great for the not intending to cause shit right now.
And that's pretty much exactly what he says, is that, people like you, trouble just follows you around, and I've got enough of it. Right on the border here are all those goddamn hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins, you say?
Yeah, Dargoon. It's right through the pass. A lot of people go through that pass and never come back. Even though, in theory, we're not at war anymore, you just can't trust those creatures.
And we're of course thinking that they didn't get an education and move on to bigger and better things, right?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Okay.
But apparently there's money to be made, so they go through the pass all the time, and some of them even come back. But for my money, I'd stay the hell out of it right there. So yeah, I've got enough trouble without you guys potentially causing any more than that.
Well,
So
truth be told, we go about our business, we leave your city, and ne'er shall you see us again.
I think that's best for all of us. The lightning rail heads out tomorrow morning about this same time. I suggest if you're not out of here before then, that you're out of here when they show up.
Understood.
Is there any way that you might be able to talk to the operators of the light and rail, maybe get us a discount on passage, just to help us along.
I don't think I'm going that far. If you're not out of here on the lightning rail, you horses walking, drag yourself out. I don't give a crap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you do. I just want you out of here by tomorrow night, at the latest. I'll give you that much, because you look beat to shit, and I'm not going to turn anybody out looking the way that you guys do. But let's the sooner you're out of here, the better. And I'm going to keep an eye out for these people you mentioned. If I can get a hold of them, I'll take them into custody and see what they know.
Mm-hmm. All right, then.
So,
I think we'll just go and find a place to rest up for the day and the night.
Yeah, you go do that. Get out of here.
And so, yeah, we should probably poke around a little bit to see what we can find.
It's probably not a bad idea. So at this point, it's a little after sunrise, maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, give or take.
So here's an interesting question. How long does it take to add silver knuckles to my war hand?
That's something we're gonna have to roll to find out. So first, you need to find a place where you can actually do that sort of work, and then we'll roll to see how long it takes. Because you'll be able to do it. It'll just be a matter of how long does this take you.
Yeah.
Are you gonna look for like a workshop or a forge?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for a forge because I need to be able to melt down the silver and such. So.
Okay. This being a fortress city, it's not too far to find a couple of different forges that specialize. It seems like they specialize predominantly weapons, armor, but there are a few that do horseshoes and general blacksmith work.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna approach him and see what it takes for some assistance and using my own technician work, or at least to be able to borrow the equipment to use it.
So you go into this place that's I don't know. I don't have any names offhand. Not for any.
The Gilded Badger.
No badgers. So this place is called Top's Workshop. TOPPE. You go and you see this rather large, extremely muscled woman, and she looks like the principal artisan of this place. She's covered in soot even at this time of morning. She's got a heavy leather apron on, gloves, a hammer. Looks like she's just now getting her fires stoked and ready for the day's work. She sees you come in, gives you a nod, and says, "Hello, sir. What can I do for you this fine morning?"
I step forward and kind of toss the swords I have out a little bit in front of me and kind of brandish, not necessarily brandish, but obviously make it apparent that I have a giant war hand. And I'm looking to outfit my knuckles here with a little bit of gilding with the silver.
She raises her eye and says, "That's a pretty unusual suggestion, I have to say, Mr.
Faldrin, Cord Faldrin.
Mr. Faldrin. From the look of you, you're not the sort who's unfamiliar with working with my sort of tools. Why, pray tell, are you looking to get silver. Hasn't been. I mean, there haven't been any lycanthropes for thousands of years, thanks to those silver flame bastards.
While that is true, that lends to a little bit of menace to an already quite frightening display of weaponry here with my fist. It's mostly for cosmetic reasons.
You can tell she's not entirely thrilled with that answer. She doesn't seem the sort who's into ostentatious decorations. She says, "All right, it's pretty unusual, and I can't help but notice, you didn't just pick these up at the local general goods store. I'm pretty sure. So wouldn't have anything to do with that airship crash I heard about last night, would it?"
Well, what'd you hear of the airship crash?
Not a lot. A lot of rumors and speculations. Everything from the last war is starting up again, and Dargoon has sent in saboteurs that destroyed the airship. You name it. Everything becomes a rumor in that sort of place. Professional paranoia. I think you'll find it. You never know when those hobgoblins are gonna come through the pass again.
That is true, and this you are correct that these are the things that came from that ship. My little group and I, we ended up actually seeing the crash as we were traveling up, and we went there to assist them, and we received these broken pieces for helping aid a lot of the injured crew members and such.
So kind of payment, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me take a closer look at these things. She picks up one of the mangled swords, kind of flicks it with her finger, bends it a little bit. She's strong enough to just bend the thing, even if it's already been pretty mangled already. She even kind of rubs it with her finger and then and licks it really briefly before spitting it out. It goes, silver, alchemical silver. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll help you. It's a slow work day. I don't have anything really planned. Who knows what might come in the meantime, but all right, I'll give you a hand. Just because I'm curious as to how this is going to go.
Oh, there's none more curious than I, and I would definitely be owing you a favor for this if you were to assist me.
And, maybe over the course of the morning you'll actually tell me the truth about what's going on. Because I'll tell you what, sir, your lying needs a little work. But I'm not gonna tell anybody about it. Your business is your own, but you've got me curious. Definitely got me curious.
It's always a good place for people to be.
I don't know about that, but I'll take that sort of character flaw over some of the other ones that I could get. So, all right, I suggest you strip down and put on an apron, and we'll get to work.
And yeah, I do so. Get ready to get this ball rolling.
All right. So give me 3 workshop technician rolls. Give me 1 plus strength, 1 plus dex, and 1 plus constitution.
Oops, that's strength.
I think she's just
6.
figure that out.
That doesn't seem right.
The plus, why not?
Because your workshop technician is +3.
Oh, you're right. For some reason yeah, you're absolutely correct there. I wasn't adding. Well, for those,
So,
you
yeah.
just add 3 to each of those.
Okay. Yeah.
I
so
was just adding my stats on those.
Okay.
So.
And is the leveling counted in there as well?
Yeah, the level in my incremental.
Okay.
So, and then the last one would just be my Constitution, which would be +5 then.
All right.
So 14, 20, and 23.
All right. So whether it's because you're tired, you haven't slept a lot, you've been, the fight the night before, it takes you a long while to kind of work up to your usual rhythm of working. You feel kind of you just feel so tired that it's hard to use the hammer and the other strength requiring tools very well. So the blacksmith who introduced herself as Chana, she does more of the heavy lifting, and she kind of gives you crap about it the whole way through. She teases you about being kind of a wimp, and not holding up your half of the bargain. But once you start to get into the more fine work, the actual getting the silver inlaid into your hand, where precision is much more important, she starts to kind of follow your lead instead of taking the lead on the work. And she, at times grudgingly, approves of your work methods. But it's a long, hot thing to do, working in front of the fire at the forge all day. But you've done this sort of thing before, so you come through pretty not too worse for wear.
All right.
So you get everything laid in. You can now put on your war hand that it's now considered a silver weapon for purposes of damage reduction. And she looks at your war hand and goes, I gotta admit, that's quite a piece of work. It was an interesting experience working on that, I have to say. It's don't see a lot of those out here. Which
your craftsmanship is quite astounding. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. It's always good to have a new experience. I may not ever work on one of those sorts of things again, but hey, you never know. And it was a learning experience. I'll say that much. So, Mr. Fulgrin, that was. I'll waive my usual fee. I mean, under other circumstances, I would have charged you for labor, for using my tools, for burning my coal. But I think we're okay. I think we're square on this, since I got to do a little bit something that I've never done before. So you're. Where are you based out of? I assume that with those sorts of skills, you've got a practice somewhere.
I do have a practice in Sharn. If you are ever in that area, look for me. I'll definitely. I would welcome you into my workshop.
I'll have to take you up on that. I'm supposed to visit some family later in the year, and maybe I'll swing by.
Absolutely.
And, we can have dinner and talk shop, I think.
So, okay, cool. Yeah, we got that.
All right. She shakes your hand. She deliberately shakes your war hand.
Yeah.
Like she's Like she's trying to see, all right, how good is this thing?
And I'll give her a firm grip, but it's not going to be anything just to show her what the craftsmanship, what it can do.
She grins and nods and waves as you walk away.
Sweet. I've got a contact.
Yes, you do. Go ahead and write it down. Her name is
Chana?
Chana Top. T-O-P-P. So while this is going on, that took probably about a good 3 hours to do. While this has been going on, what are the rest of you doing?
I don't know. Recon, like just trying to look around. Go with the places where it's obvious that I'm not going to get in any kind of trouble. But seeing if I can find, I can't think of their names right now. Grilsha and
Lucan.
Lucan. Just not necessarily. Not that I expect them to just be sauntering out of a pub or anything. Just anybody talking about anything. Random eavesdrops. Just if I guess I wouldn't expect them to be moving now. He'd have to get out of the sun. So, and we are early morning, right? Sunrise, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the time where Cord went to do that, it's a little after sunrise.
So, I would be hanging out around. I don't know. I figure I'd kind of hang out around barns, places where you can get your horses and drop them up, and pick them up, and maybe eavesdropping around inns or something like that. If I could find, say like a stable boy or somebody who doesn't know any better and was willing to just talk about whatever the hell they see, stuff like that. Maybe try and pry some information.
Okay. So just kind of not necessarily slumming it, but looking for more.
Kind of a real low key recon, because we just went through all that bullshit that we went through, and then you figure, I know with the sun being up that our chances of them just having to cross paths with us is nil. So if I can find even the barest hint of a thread, then this would be the time to pursue.
Fair enough. All right, give me. Is anybody else helping along with this, or is it just Wraith going and doing his recon?
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can't find a safe dark corner and kind of play my peek and sneak trick. It's a little bit easier for me to look around without being seen because I do that wandering eye thing. And I'll be in communication with him telepathically to be able to kind of help his efforts and to double man it.
Okay. Anybody else?
No, I'm going to be writing up a letter to and reporting back to base.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, so let's see, Joandi and Wraith, go ahead and give me rolls for how you're doing this.
What do you want? Background plus attribute plus what do you want? Changeling infiltrator.
Yeah, changing infiltrator is probably best. Give me charisma.
Where the hell did I put my character sheet?
This should be right. 13.
I just realized I don't have my character sheet.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I put it somewhere. Oh, no, I left it up there. So Heather, maybe when we're moving around.
So 13 for Wraith.
Here it is. And counter intel.
Yeah.
Okay. And what? Wisdom.
Charisma.
Okay.
Actually, no. For you, wisdom probably best.
All right. So 2 and 4. It actually doesn't matter because they're both the same. Fan-fucking-tastic. I get distracted by a meat pie.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
very
pretty much
hungry.
what it boils down to. Is that you guys you're really tired. You're easily distracted. You're not really on focus. I mean, it's been a while since you guys have slept. You were woken rather rudely from your night's sleep, and attacked by the blood of Vol. You're not just not quite on top of your game like you usually are.
Meat pie. I need to make the meat pies.
This is going to be ridiculous. And you ask around, and everybody's like, "No, a redheaded woman. I mean, there's a lot of redheaded women around here. You need to kind of be. I don't know. Not with the description you've got, guys. Sorry."
Okay.
So you're. Hold on, let me think about this. Or how about this instead? Instead of not finding any information, because that's not the way 13th Age should work. You hear a lot of people talk about this redheaded woman. How beautiful she is, how gorgeous she is. Rather unsavory sorts of things, given the sorts of people you're talking to. But it gets to the point where kind of everybody knows that you're talking about these. The word has gotten out that you're looking for these people. For good or ill, people know that you're looking for a redheaded woman and a male companion of some sort. So you'll duck into a bar, and word alert, and they'll look up and say, "Oh, hey, you're looking for that redheaded woman, right?" And then they'll go on from there. So word has gotten out, and if Grilsha or Lucan are keeping an eye out for you guys, they probably know that you're still on the hunt.
Well, we got to share that with the group.
Yeah, that's totally Cord's new girlfriend.
All right.
Julia Vans.
Oof.
So yeah, you hear that these people came in early in the morning, got through the gates, and it looks like they hold up at some inn, but nobody's quite sure which one. You get conflicting information, but it does. You have at least confirmed that they're here.
Okay. Well, hunt down people and share that shit, because that's some stuff we need to know.
Yes, please.
All right.
Find
Give me a second roll. All right. So that took you the better part of the morning. Now you've met up with Cord again. He's got his new bling.
He's got his bling hand.
He's got a bling hand.
Giant evil pimp hand.
I was going to say, it's a pimp hand, let's be honest.
Yes, it's a pimp hand. He's accessorized with a large hat.
Diamonds in this motherfucker.
Yeah, he's got a large hat.
I'm going to find
Every time combat with a vampire starts now, Justin, you gotta go, yeah!
I'm going to go find some limestone and crush it into a very fine powder and follow him around so that I can...
Stay away from me. You stay away from me, buddy. So I guess we are going to start...
Okay, so
searching,
we wanted another roll. What did we want?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can all start making a roll. Actually, before we do that, let's go over to Gemabeth and see how she's doing on her stuff.
Tick, 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 tick.
So you head over to the House Civis. What would it be called, I guess? Shop? Storefront?
Telepost.
Yeah, post office? Yeah, post office is close enough. So you head over to how it's pretty easy to find. You can ask anybody on the street and they'll tell you where to find it. You head in and a very personable halfling looks up from behind the desk and very cheerfully asks you how she can help you. Oh, it's a gnome, excuse me, not a halfling.
This is after I've already drafted the letter, correct?
I assume so.
I tell her that I would like to post a letter to Breland.
We're in Breland, ma'am. Would you like to be more specific?
Darn.
To Sharn, okay. We can do Sharn. How would you like this sent? Would you like it sent just basic post? Would you like it sent message of sending? Basically, how fast do you want it there, and how much are you willing to spend for that speed?
I don't want it to take all year, but it doesn't have to be there tomorrow.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's see, we have the lightning round coming tomorrow, and they'll take on our parcels. Head up to, and she does some mental calculation. You can see her looking at a map, and says, "All right, I can have this here. I can have it to Sharn in. Let's see, I can have it there in a week." As our standard postal rate. I could have it there in 4 days at our expedited rate. The difference in price is going to be, let's see, the expedited is going to be a gold. It's going to be 3 gold. It's going to be 1 gold for the standard rate.
Let's go ahead and do the expedited.
I'll kick in a gold for it.
Okay, 3 gold. All right, and you have the address?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and you have it sealed. All right, I'm gonna just for your assurance, I'm going to put the House Civis seal on here. This verifies that it's been inspected. It has not been opened between here and the destination. So if you would witness this, and she takes out a stamp and a green candle, drips some wax on it, and puts the House Civis seal on it. All right, ma'am. As I said, it's probably about 4 days, no more than 5, and and it should be delivered straight to this location. Will you be expecting a return message?
No, we're fine, thank you.
All right. Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Let's see. So let's have all of you roll a perception check at this point. I don't like this.
I don't have a perception check. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, what is the perception check again?
Background plus wisdom plus level.
What are we doing so we know which background to pick?
Just whatever your best notice kind of check.
Probably diplomat. Not me.
Really well.
So Swan Eddie, we're waiting on you.
I'm sorry.
He's icing his boys.
Yeah.
Hey, not paying attention to nothing but his notes.
You guys are all right. Xuan D, it seems people have started to take a note of your asking questions, and people are starting to wonder. Well, why are you asking about these people? It seems that you're being followed around. They don't seem even to your telepathic senses. They don't seem hostile. Not necessarily hostile, I should probably say. But they're definitely curious as to why you're asking about these two people, and because you're a bit of an odd group yourselves. So, why are these odd people asking about this red-headed woman and her friend?
Am I getting the idea that it might be a good idea to kind of lay off the questions a little bit?
It's possible. Either that, or you should deal with these people. That's kind of what your training would suggest, is to either back off and let the heat cool down, or to confront these people and see why they want to know.
We don't really need to piss off the Lord, the main guy. That very well could do that. So if we're gonna talk to them, we got to do it as diplomatic as possible. Like, we can't just be. Yeah, we don't need to be walking up and throwing any pimp hands around right now. I mean, unless you guys want to and cause a whole slew of crap.
Hold on. Wait one.
Don't think too hard about it.
Yeah, I'll get in a second. I want to confront them. But
Okay.
I am going to I'm going to try to be genial about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand.
So they're a bit surprised that you turned around and actually decided to talk to them. There's about 3 or 4 of them in this group that's been following you, at least that you've noticed. So what do you say exactly?
Is it a male and female, or is it just guys?
There's 3 guys and a woman.
Okay. Gentlemen, madame, please understand. I recognize that you're probably wanting to know why I'm looking for this lady.
It's you could say that. I mean, it's a bit you're not hanging around with the normal sorts of people we see here in Sterngate, and then you add on top that airship crash last night. Yeah, you could say we're a bit concerned.
And I understand how it must look. Please understand, it's just been a run of bad luck for me recently and for my companions. The airship crash was something of a high point in our misfortunes recently. We've been separated from someone that we were trying to be able to make a business deal with, and we've just been trying to find them ever since.
Is that so? It's not what we hear. Not what we've heard at all.
What have you heard?
It sounds like, from what we understand, you've got some ill intentions towards this young woman.
None at all. Farthest from the truth as possible. We are trying to be able to keep her safe, truthfully.
Keep her safe, huh? That's not the rumors going around, buddy. She seemed quite upset at the idea that you were still following her around. She says you've been after her for weeks now, and she's just trying to get away from you to live her life in peace.
No.
She's out talking.
But you recognize it's technically true. She hasn't lied about that in any way, shape, or form. She's just kind of not given the full context.
Well, neither have I lied in any way, shape, or form. We did have a business deal that we were trying to execute, and we are trying to keep her safe.
Yeah, you're stretching things a little bit more than she was at that point, though. But yes, you technically haven't lied, but you're bending that truth a little bit more. So yeah, we decided to see what kind of big nasty person would be hunting a woman like that, and I have to admit, you don't seem like the sort who would be a threat. I understand you're traveling with some others that are rather more so, but call it, like I said, call it curiosity. Maybe.
If it would put your minds at ease, please, by all means, ask as questions as you can, and I will answer as much as I can. I don't want you to go away with the idea that we are vagrants or bounty hunters of some variety that are trying to do this woman ill, or that we are brigands trying to take from her what is hers.
I don't know. A well-to-do woman like that, I could easily see you being on the nefarious side. What was the nature of this business deal that you had with her? She mentioned nothing of the sort.
The business deal, in truth, was not with her. It was with her traveling companion. And it was, in fact, to try to gain safe passage for her, as he is concerned that his own dealings might lead to less than safe surroundings. The airship that we were on was headed, after all, to Vatharond, which is not far from some of the more dangerous areas.
We're not too far from danger here in Sterngate either, I think you might notice. Not with Dargoon just literally right skip it a jump across the border right there.
I've heard that there have been some troubling times and tidings recently.
Usually it's just skirmishes, some of them. Go lay down for a little while, I think. Come back.
Oh, alright, I'm just gonna mute it then.
Okay.
If somebody
I
wants
mean,
to type a little in the thing, kind of give me some highlights. That way I don't have to come back in and interrupt you all.
but anyway, yeah, it's pretty dangerous here as well. So, and I don't know. You don't have a trustworthy look to you, I have to say. I think we'll be keeping an eye on you. The lady has made it pretty clear that she'd welcome any assistance if you guys got a bit rowdy. I think you understand how that works.
I would hate to upset the people of this fine city.
I bet somebody's watching.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you hate that.
If
So why
you're
don't you just, head off and go get something to eat and stop harassing the young lady.
As I see that you are a concerned group of citizens, I will ask you then kindly, please make sure that no harm comes to her from any quarter other than myself as may be. As I said, I'm interested in her safety and concerned that she might be headed towards a less than savory quarter.
I'm sure we'll take care of things just fine without your input.
As you say.
Give me a counterintelligence agent plus charisma check.
I'm sorry, that's supposed to be 2 plus 4.
So 15 in total?
Yes.
Just enough. Something doesn't seem quite right about these guys. It's almost like they're puppeting things that they're just repeating things that have been told to them. They seem like they've been mentally influenced in some fashion.
Okay. As I'm walking away, can I extend my feelers to see if there's any kind of signature or feel to that influence that might let me know who or when or where or how?
You can, but it's probably going to be something that gets noticed. It's not something you can do very subtly.
And I would know that as a scion.
Yes.
Okay.
It's more of a deep probe kind of thing, and that's something that most people are going to be aware of on some level or another.
Regardless of whether or not they're in tune.
Right.
Okie dokie.
So do you still want to do that?
Nope.
Okay.
Let me see. All right. I think I'm done for now. I'm going to make my way. Do we have a room, or is there a common meeting place that we agreed upon?
You guys hadn't really agreed on a room or anything like that.
Yeah, we hadn't gotten that far.
Yeah, you went straight out to do stuff.
Okay. I'm going to wander a while away from this group and try to find a pub.
Oh, yeah, that's not too hard to find.
Sweet.
One that's like several blocks away from these gentlemen. Sit down, have a beer, and reach out telepathically to the rest of the group, letting them know where I am, and asking if there's anything that I can do to help out their efforts.
Okay, you find a place called the Joyous Duke Ale House. It's got a picture of a completely blitzed but very happy, noble-looking face on the wooden sign outside. It's kind of low end, despite the kind of pretentious name. It's not the kind of place where they make sure you're armed before you go in, but it's only a step above a dive. And you said you were telepathically telling everybody about this?
The party, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is the party? How does everybody react to that?
I head that way to meet up at this point. There's no reason not to congregate and figure out what we're going to do.
I do the same.
Okay. Give me perception checks.
Didn't we just do this?
Yep.
Well, that means I have to roll better, right?
You would hope, anyway. Granted, it's hard to get much worse than you usually roll, Justin, so...
Shut up! I got a couple rolls that were over 20.
Hey, we got 16s.
16.
Just old enough.
No.
Yikes! Wrong. 18.
Oh
Look at
my
that.
god.
See?
Decent roll.
You just got to belittle my dice so they have to actually work for it, or feel they have to work for it.
It's reverse psychology. I'm trying to make your dice try to prove me wrong. Or something like that. You're still being followed. They're keeping a respectable distance, but they haven't stopped keeping an eye on you.
Those bastards. Well, if they're just watching us and we're not doing anything, I mean, obviously that means we just can't do anything unless we want to deal with this crap.
Yeah, I think that. Well, are we at the pub yet?
Yeah.
Or did they come into the pub?
A couple of them did, yeah.
So I assume we have some kind of communication that we can share in either a different language or maybe hand communication that others around us can't necessarily read.
Yeah, you have the Dark Lantern can't.
We hand sign. We hand sign to D that we're still being followed.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we do,
yeah, you all noticed. It wasn't just Cord noticing that you followed. You all noticed that there are some people who are very very clearly trailing you. You actually all think it's kind of bad tradecraft that they're tailing you so obviously that that if they were, you're kind of offended that they would do it so bluntly.
They're either complete and total idiots or they're making it uber obvious that that they're doing it to deter us from doing anything.
There are two ways to follow somebody. One, so that they don't notice you. Two, so that they only notice you.
That's true too.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we missing?
I was gonna say, let's broaden our spectrum, boys and lady. I want to look around a little bit more than just at them. I want to start to take stock of the rest of my surroundings, see if I can't see something else.
Okay. Is there something specific you're looking for, like somebody else trailing you, or are you looking for Grilsha and Lucan, or what?
I'm going to be. I'm also going to be searching my memory at this point, looking back to. I mean, I assume they've kind of been following me this entire time. So I'm going to be searching my memory. I am looking for primarily Lucan, possibly Grilsha. I'm going to be looking for anybody that doesn't quite move the way I think they should, though.
And you're doing this in your memory? Are you doing this, or are you doing this right at the present?
Both.
Okay. So let's do a couple rolls on that. In the meantime, what is everybody else doing? What is Gemabeth doing? What is Cord doing?
Are you moving around to do this, or are we powwowing what we're going to do next before you take off?
Oh no, I'm staying put right now. I'm just looking around the room.
Okay. I'm gonna get a drink.
All right. It's despite this kind of being a dive, the alcohol is not too bad. You have to pay for the good stuff. But there's a large gap between the watered down swill that most people ordered and the stuff that you consider acceptable alcohol. So it's about 2 silver a drink for the decent stuff. But the bartender looks at you when you start ordering. What are you ordering?
An ale.
Ale,
Beer.
wine, mead, whatever. All right, so you order an ale, and the bartender kind of gives you a look and goes, "It's not even noon yet. Aren't you starting a little early there?"
It's been a long week.
I can understand that. I'd be surprised how many people come in here with that same sort of attitude. Might want to get something to eat before you start chowing, before you start drinking too heavy. I'd rather not. I'd rather not have to drag you to wherever you're staying.
You serve food?
Yeah, we got food. What do you want? We got. It's almost lunchtime, so not everything's done cooking, but I know we have bread that's ready, bread and cheese, cold sausages.
How long is lunch going to be?
Lunch is probably another. I don't know. I'd have to talk to the guys in the kitchen, but probably another 20-30 minutes before the roast is done. And the stew should be about the same.
I call it to the guys. Hey guys, do we want lunch? Do we want to hang out for half an hour for lunch?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll start with a little bit of bread, just kind of like pad out my stomach for what I'm already drinking, but you know, yeah.
We'll take some bread cheese now, and we'll be around for lunch.
All right. So bread and cheese is going to be another couple silver. And are you all drinking?
Yeah.
All right. So
I've already had one. I'm gonna move to water after that, though.
all right. So you're 8 silver in at this point, and it'll be a little more when you get the rest.
I gotta count, see how much money I got. So I already spent
So
3
what-
gold, right?
You spent
yeah,
2
you already
gold. I got one of those.
Okay.
So what's Cord doing? Are you just going to drink and eat, or are you going to do anything?
Yeah, drink and eat. I'm just keeping an eye on the people who came into the bar, just whether or not they're trying to converse among themselves, or if it's one of those where if any of them are coming and going, like if they're like, how are they reacting to our kind of just getting a meal?
This seems a pretty workman's pub. It doesn't seem... a lot of people come in, it looks like on their lunch hour, and have a pint. and a bite to eat before they leave. Most of the people in aren't sticking around for too long. They're only sticking around just long enough to drink their pints and stuff their face and then head out. So probably no more than 15 or 20 minutes for most of them. A few others are sticking around to, kind of have a more leisurely meal. But it's not really the kind of place where people stick around for the atmosphere, nor for the quality of food and drink.
So our group and then the group that's following us are probably sticking out.
You're sticking out a bit. Not a lot, but you are sticking out some. The bartender eventually comes through and brings you all some a plate full of roast, kind of a communal platter with some roast and some potatoes and some other root vegetables. 10 silver and a gold.
10 silver and a gold, including the food, the rest of it, or in addition to. Oh, okay. Never mind. Got it.
And he says, "All right, that's going to be another. That's going to be another 6 silver for the roast."
What now?
That's another 6 silver for the roast.
So 8 silver and 6 silver is 1
14.
gold and 4 silver.
1 gold, 4 silver, yeah. And he kind of leaves you to it. Goes back to the bar and starts cleaning up. You can tell he's kind of keeping an eye on you because you're not locals. You're a bit unusual, and you've been there for longer than most people. But it doesn't seem to be a malicious kind of thing. It's more of he's been a bartender for a long time and knows that unusual things are things to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we just are sore thumbs with this. Like, there's... and Lucan's got his crew, man.
The pixie alone, considering she is mashed bread with butter and jelly into and somewhat on her face, and is kind of blissed out on her chair, with her corgi licking the jam off of her face. That Bree alone kind of attracts attention.
Awkward fairy.
You know you're going to have an intervention at some point.
Another one.
But this is apparently not the time. So, but nobody seems to make a move. Even the guys who are following you, they seem content to just keep an eye on you.
Of course, that means we can't really do anything either if we're just... So that means that they're in town. Like if we have enough, we should be able to talk amongst ourselves, right? Keep it to a low hush.
Yeah, you should be able to do that.
So, I mean, we know that they're in town, or else we wouldn't have these weirdos following us.
That's a safe assumption.
So, do we just... What's our plan with this? What's our plan of attack? I mean, right now...
I'm not sure that we want to attack. I think we want to find out what their plan is and find a better place to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, just how we're going to go about it. Just the plan of attack was just saying. I mean, at this point, we could just wait it out. But if we don't kind of try to keep tabs on whether or not they're around, they could just sneak off too. So this is kind of... We're stuck just being out in public, acting like we're not looking around for stuff while they keep us watching us.
And they've got people watching us, there's a good chance they already know where we are.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt that that's the case.
So if they know where we are, but we don't know where they are, it's going to make it a lot easier for them to slip away.
We've got to figure out a way to get... See, I wish Eddie was here because we could get him to slink off and shift into something else and do maybe a little more covert searching while we keep these watchers at bay.
Okay.
Because he can shift form.
Or we could have the pixie slink off and go invisible.
We need one of them.
I don't trust the pixie right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Pixie's a bit sugar overdosed.
Exactly. Are we expecting Wraith to join us?
He might be coming back. He just had to lay down.
No, I know, but I mean, in
Yeah.
the meeting, would it be reasonable to expect Wraith to join us?
Yeah. He would probably be there unless you told him specifically to stay away for whatever reason.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Send him a message to actually stay away, switch characters, and see if he can find.
Yeah, if he's not there, we can keep these people occupied just by having lunch.
Maybe have him follow some of these people that are trying to keep an eye on us.
Yeah, we can assume that since he's not here to say otherwise, that he hasn't shown up yet. So you can tell him to change his look and do some tailing of his own. But that being said, how are you going to get these guys to kind of go somewhere if they're already tailing you?
Be as boring as possible.
Yeah, I'd assume that they're not just the same group that's kind of sitting there staring at us, that there's going to be some come and go to be able to report back.
Unless we're giving them too much credit for intelligence.
We may be. I mean, he's just...
We're at a pub, not an inn, correct?
Yeah, you're just in a pub. There's no rooms here.
It might be something worthwhile to move ourselves to that so we can get the group to move us to an inn-type area, and then we can just go to separate rooms, and at that point, hopefully, they would just be content to sit down at and just kind of see if we're going to leave, and at that point, we can do whatever.
Some bag. That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Which I'd be fine with.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all for that. That also means that if I'm in a room closed, I can go third eye and scope them out and drop an ear into their conversation without being noticed.
So yeah, we're going to go to an inn that's... I would imagine we would want something that's kind of close to the lightning rail.
Yeah.
So we're going to move towards that end, like basically the closest inn that we could find to the light rail, I would imagine.
Okay. The closest one is called Silver Gargoyle Hall. It's a pretty nice place, actually. Looks kind of upscale. Loads better in terms of atmosphere and general cleanliness than the Joyous Duke Ale House. The owner proprietor is an older halfling woman. She greets you when you come in, kind of looks back and forth at you, and says, "How can I help you?"
Well, we are in the market for how many rooms are we looking for? 3? Or more?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking for about 3 rooms.
3 rooms. Okay. And what? Just for tonight?
Yes, we're looking to leave in the morning.
Waiting for the rail, are you?
Absolutely.
I understand that. So, yeah. Which we've got some very nice rooms open right now. And I can have you in there. One of them is being cleaned right now, but I can have the other. I can have you into the other 2 immediately.
Excellent. We can stay in 2 of the rooms and then be contacted when the third one is available.
It shouldn't be more than 10 or 15 minutes.
Excellent.
Normally it would be done by now, but we had a rather unruly guest last night.
Unruly? How so?
Oh, they were just, they got a bit inebriated.
Okay.
They brought, let's just say, an unsavory woman home with them. And
one of those lovely ladies of the evening.
yes, you could say that. And they made a bit of a mess. But I promise you, everything will be it'll be so clean you could eat off the floor before you're in.
Well, we won't have to worry about any eating off the floor, but I do appreciate the sentiment.
I would hope not. We do have a fine table that would probably be better for this sort of thing, but yes.
All right, so at this point, I think we get the rooms, we hang out that way. Xuan Di can go third eye on the asses.
All right, so she gives you a discount. It's going to be $2 for the 3 rooms.
Right,
since you have to wait.
That's fine. I've got that. Just for sake of doing it. All right, so at this point, yeah, I mean, just however we want to bunk up, we can shove the pixie in one room, and if I don't know if we all need to bear witness to Xuan Di. It's up to you.
Yeah, why did we get 3 rooms? I'm just curious.
For each, well, so we can kind of pair up. I feel that it would be better to have us not all in the same rooms, and so that way we have different areas. It's kind of a
I get like
maybe a paranoid thing for me on that end.
I get the Pixie and I bunk together. Then how are you guys breaking that down?
I mean, I would imagine Xuan Di would be fine having his own room to concentrate, but I guess that's up to you on that end if it's necessary or not.
I should be fine. I'm going to lock myself in. I am going to make a request of you, Cord, that if you start to notice anything odd or unusual, I'm going to be kind of a way off in the land, so, wake me up.
Yeah, and that's I mean, I can make a little small alarm if you fear for in your room. Other than that, but I mean, I can just keep track of it and make sure.
That'd be helpful. I'd appreciate that.
So I can do that with my which ability is it? Oh yeah, the Tinker Artifice. I can make a small alarm because it uses the same wizard cantrip, so it'd just be like a signal alarm or something, maybe a little thing that can get him out of that just in case somebody decides to show up something weird like that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. So I'll do that with that, but I'm going to go into my room as well, just so we're not all up in the same room.
Mm-hmm. So
get that chance. So once that room becomes available, so I'll let them go to their own rooms, and I'll just wait out until it's ready.
So yeah.
In lobby or however.
Yeah, there's a small lobby downstairs. Just a couple of tables and a few chairs. Nothing elaborate. This is very much a more of a B&B style than a combination restaurant / hotel. So yeah, it, like she said, it only takes about 15-20 minutes, and the maid comes down and tells you that your room is ready. You can go up at any time.
Before I head up, I want to do a scan of the area and see if there's anyone of note before I head up to the room.
Definitely not anybody inside.
Okay.
The people who are following you kind of realize that as obvious as they've been, following you inside would kind of be really
over the top. Yeah.
Yes. So you expect that they're probably outside, keeping an eye on the entrances and exits of this place.
All right, so yeah, at that point I'm going in, just to the room to rest and just kind of wait to hear from Mr. Zwandi.
All right. Speaking of Zwandi, so you're going to go all third eye on this?
Yes, and also we forgot to do the rolls for my searching my memory and whatnot.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? Let's go ahead and do that now. We also forgot icon relationships, but we'll be okay for this session anyway. So let's go ahead and do your memory first.
Okay. Counter intel and
Wisdom.
intelligence or wisdom.
Let's do wisdom.
All right. Rolling the dice. Rolling the dice. There we go.
23. So you meditate and you kind of roll back through your memory. It takes a while to do. It's you can't really fast forward or rewind, so to speak, that quickly. So it takes you the better part of a couple of hours to go through your whole day with any kind of precision. But that being said, you do notice that they started following you around pretty early in your attempts to pick up information. Probably a good maybe 30 minutes after you started asking around, the same sorts of faces started to pop up repeatedly in your vision. You recognize most of them from the people that you confronted earlier, but not all of them. There are about 3 faces that you don't recognize that appear multiple times.
Okay.
In addition, you catch a glimpse of Grilsha very briefly, and it's very clear that she had seen you at some point and was hiding. If not for your ability to kind of review your own memories, you would have never known that she was there. But you did see her very briefly.
Okay. And seeing her, was that before or after lunch?
Before.
Okay.
Well before. It was before even that you were being followed that you noticed.
Okay. All right, and the second role that I had wanted to do was while we were sitting at lunch, looking around to see if there was anybody that was trying not to be noticed that was following us, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Someone a little bit more subtle about the following.
Okay, go ahead and make another roll. Same kind of roll.
Okay. 17.
No, there wasn't any that you noticed.
Okay. And now, fast forwarding back to the present, getting ready to do my third eye thing. I'm going to make this into a ritual. Take about 10 minutes to get myself into my meditative state and really set the tone for being able to project myself out. I'm going to start with outside this, the silver gargoyle.
Okay.
And look around specifically for the 3 faces that I noticed were not in the group that confronted me.
Okay.
Because I think that they're probably still following but being more subtle about it, and I want to make note of that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another roll.
Same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
You okay? Yeah, you've completely screwed the pooch here. You settle down to do this, and for whatever reason, you kind of lose control of it, and you're seeing anything and everything around this in all at once. It gives you the most ridiculous headache. It gives you a bloody nose, and it also gives you 9 points of damage.
Ouch. Broke your brain, man.
Jesus, 9 points. Fuck
Yeah.
me.
It just, your head is throbbing, the blood is pouring from your nose and your ears. You just lost complete control. And all of a sudden you were just overwhelmed by all of these sights and sensations. No human, no person is really designed mentally to take in all that input at once. And it just completely overwhelmed you. Doesn't knock you out, but you kind of wish it had. That's how badly your head hurts.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you don't pick up anything from that. They could be out there, those faces, but it's going to take a while for you to settle down and be able to remember whether you saw them in that brief flash before it overwhelmed you. And we're getting into the mid-afternoon, late afternoon. Is anybody doing anything else, or are we just going to wait on Jawan B to do his thing?
Yeah, at this point, I'm just kind of hanging out just so I don't have to. I mean, out of sight, out of mind, and hoping maybe those dummies leave us alone, even though I doubt it. There's no reason to go out and be a menace.
Not much to do.
I don't know why, but every time I hear the word menace, I think of don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. I don't know why. I just do. Let's see. Nope. Not doing that. Okay. So if you're not going to do anything else, Gemma Beth here, are you just going to kind of hang out too?
Yeah.
Everybody get a rest? All right. I really want Wraith to be here because I want to go over what he's doing before we go on any further.
Eddie.
Why? I really don't want to cut things off right here, though.
Once we get that Cortana, we're gonna have to ask.
No, I think if Eddie's not here, we're gonna have to call it early because yeah, we need to do that. You guys need to see what he does before we can really go on. And
yeah,
I don't want to push on any further without him around either. So yeah, all right, let's go ahead and stop here for the night. A lot earlier than intended, but I guess it's better than no gaming at all. And so yeah, let me go ahead and stop the broadcast. Everybody say goodbye to our viewers.
Goodbye, viewers.
Bye, viewer.
Bye, everybody.